Hey guys, Zach Draskwick here. Today in this video, I'm going to show you some cool fish catches. I'm going to show you what I threw and why I used those lures. And I'm going to finish up with showing you what these actual bass bedding areas look like. Come with me, we're going to have some fun.
Let's go.
Got him right there. Yeah.
Like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket.
Alright, good way to start the day.
I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. Picking up all the pieces is a form of art. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
Quick reminder, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and check the description down below for some items that I like and you will like too. Alright, if you paid close attention to the video, you know what I threw, but you may also know that none of those lures were featured in my spawn lures video. Now, I was not trying to mislead you. We had some adverse conditions come in. The weather had dropped by 30 degrees overnight, and we also had a large amount of wind. We had 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. So throwing a weightless Senko is out of the picture in 30 mile an hour winds. First featured lure was this bright chartreuse spinnerbait here. Spinnerbait, of course, in the wind is good all times of the year. I was slow rolling this bait up above the grass, up above those hard spots, and ended up catching one right off the bed. It was hard to see exactly where these fish were on the beds, and if there were even fish on a lot of the beds that I came across. So I was fan casting this chartreuse spinnerbait. A spinnerbait is a great lure to use during the spawn. It's more of a situational lure for me. I'm going to use it on the windy days like I did today, and I'm going to throw it like alongside of docks or down some laydowns to try to pull a big female out. The spinnerbait is definitely a lure that has some great situational use in the springtime. The next lure that I caught fish on and got a lot of bites as well was a Senko, but I had a little something extra, the spinner Senko. The spinner Senko was my next most productive bait out there. Now, normally this is a bait that I don't break out until the post spawn. This is, if I may have had a post spawn video, this would definitely make the must-have lure. I crush fish in the post spawn on this spinner Senko, but since we had that wind, I really wanted a little bit more flash while still having a finesse presentation, and this was something that I could drag along the bottom as well as just cast in slow reel and get bites. And that little blade at the end, that flash, will draw those fish from a little bit further distance and get some good bites. Now when I throw a spinner Senko, I throw it on the Elastec type plastic because these spinners, if you fish these spinners a lot over the course of a day you're gonna have some bluegill or some bass just bite the blade, and the stretchy material will, if you glue your blade in, will hold up and you won't lose as many blades. So this is something that's a little bit sneaky. Use this situationally around the spawn, but definitely have something like this ready for the post spawn coming up. That was my number 2 bait. My number 1 bait today was a weedless swim bait. Now this one is in bluegill colored, was a Largo shad. A small swim bait is good year round. This is just a 4-inch swim bait, good fish catcher no matter what time of the year. I had it just belly weighted. You know, I caught so many on it, it chewed the paint off of it. Definitely caught a lot of fish today. Got a lot of good bites and followers as well. I threw this today because my normal Texas rig and 30-mile-an-hour winds, it can be very hard to feel a bite and hard to cast. This allowed me to cover a lot of water, and that thump of that boot tail was drawing some bites a lot better than just the plain Texas rig. As it was very difficult today in the high winds to specifically target and milk bedfish, so I was just wanting to cover water, and this is what I covered water with. I was throwing this swim bait. There's a lot of grass around, so I was throwing it on a 50-pound braided line. You know, you can throw it on what you want, but I like that braided line because if I hook a big fish in the grass, I want to be able to get it back to the boat. Not lures, but the MVP today was my sunglasses. Now I brought 2 pair of sunglasses on the boat today. I don't know how well it will show up on this camera, but I brought these copper lenses, these copper sunglasses. These are my all-around pair. I didn't put these on today. We had enough cloud cover and wind cover to where my eyes weren't hurting too much with these amber lenses. I don't know if you can see out of here. These yellow amber lenses are key if you are going to be doing sight fishing. When I'm fishing, if my eyes can stand it, I'm going to be throwing these yellow lenses when I'm fishing beds in the spawn. That'll help you pick up the minute movement of the bass tail and be able to pick out those hard spots from a long ways away, because you don't want to get right on top of the fish before you see the bed. If you can, you have a lot higher chance of catching these bedding fish and all shallow fish if you can cast at them from a long ways away. These are just some cheap sunglasses. The important thing is going to be color. You know, get whatever brand that you would like, the best pair that you can afford. I just had some cheap $15, some inexpensive $15 sunglasses, and they did well for me. If you got some money to burn, you know, Costas are great. I've had great luck with Costas in the past. Sadly, my Costas fell in the line of duty when I was driving back home from a fishing trip and had my accident. They protected my eyes from the glass shards. You know, they didn't shatter, but they were chipped to pieces. So I was glad that I had them, but I cannot afford to replace them yet. I know in past videos and in the spawn video in particular, I talked about fishing hard spots in the grass, and these hard spots in the grass are key. But me telling you to fish hard spots means nothing if you're not from around here, or if you're new to fishing. If you don't know what a bed looks like, or if you don't know what these hard spots look like, you know, you're gonna fish a lot of dead water if you're not targeting these areas. Now, the map study videos that I did are great for finding high likelihood areas for these hard spots, but looking at contour lines, you know, good looking contour lines means nothing if you don't have good grass, the right kind of grass, and these nice hard spots in them that these fish are gonna spawn on and use to ambush. Now, if you go and you find some hard spots that don't have any bass in them right now, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't mark these areas that you find right now looking for these spawning bass. Because even if you find an area that doesn't have bass beds in it right now, or the bass have evacuated the bed, later on, right after the bass spawn, the brim are going to come up and spawn, and they're going to use some of these same areas that the bass are. So having these areas marked to come back and look for brim beds later, and really most of the summer you'll find bluegill, even if they're not actively spawning, in these hard spots. And when there's brim in these hard spots, the bass are right at the edge too. So these areas that you find right now are going to be productive, most of the year, at least on Lake Guntersville. So mark these hard spots that you find now, and you will be able to recycle them, all summer long. That's my number one tip for today. Be sure you're marking the areas that you find, whether or not you catch fish in them right now, because there will be later, I guarantee it. Now, if you're trying to find the individual bass beds themselves, they're going to be clear, circular areas. A lot of times we have a lot of shell in Lake Guntersville in the shallower spots that are good for spawning. Or when they clear out these harder bottom areas, there's usually going to be some kind of shell around there. So if you see a circle spot and you'll see like a beacon, couple little white dots in there from the shell, that's a clear indication of a bed that's active. Good areas look similar in the emergent grass and the submerged grass. You'll have patches and you'll have holes in the grass that are bare. They may be jagged, they may be irregularly shaped, but those fish will bed in those areas, or if they're not bedding, those fish will use those open areas as ambush points. But you can find these areas in all kinds of grass. I caught fish out of primrose, stargrass, and India eelgrass today. The type of grass was not important. What was important was having these hard bottom irregularities in those circular areas where fish had been bedding in these hard spots. Alright, a lot of these beds and bedding areas that I am showing you did not have a ton of fish in them today, quite possibly because the TVA had decided that these fish might spawn a little bit better after jolted with 10,000 volts of electricity. I hope you enjoyed today's video and have a better understanding of what you're looking for when you're out there on the water. Grass fisheries can be very tough if you've never been on one before, but if you look for those hard spots that I showed you today, I guarantee you'll load the boat.